What's going on, guys? JonJonTheWise here, and I got another Cyberpunk video for you. And today we're going to be talking about a new way that I've been playing Cyberpunk Red, something that I have never thought could be done before, and I think you'd be really interested if you've seen the title of this video. But before we get into that, make sure you guys join our Discord community. The link is in the description below. Make sure you subscribe to Tabletop Cyberpunk, my podcast about cyberpunk things. And if you really want to help this channel, going to patreon.com/JonJonTheWise is the best way to be able to help me. And I'm so grateful of all my patrons out there. Thank you all for your support. Last but not least, if you want to get some official Cyberpunk Red minis from Monster Fight Club, use the link in the description below and I will get a kickback from some of that sale. They have all the stuff you need for your Cyberpunk games, your Cyberpunk Combat Zone games, and they even have really cool terrain for fantasy, sci-fi, modern, you mention it, it's there for you. As many of you may or may not know, I am very much into miniatures. I play Warhammer, I play Combat Zone, I have a bunch of Cyberpunk Red minis from Monster Fight Club, and I just love using miniatures. I think there's something that you gain from having the visual aspect of where your miniature is and this really cool landscape that you make with the terrain, and using the verticality of buildings adds a whole new immersion to the game that you're playing. While Theater of the Mind has its specialties, it has its good and its bad. I've done a video on that. It's right here. You can go check it out. And that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about how I've been using miniatures online with my buddies on Tabletop Simulator. Now, initially you might think, yeah, no big deal. You upload some miniatures onto some virtual table and you play it. But there's something out there called OneWorld. And for many of you out there, you know exactly what this is. I'm new to this. This is something I just learned about. But apparently OneWorld is this amazing way where you can build your terrain and put it away somewhere and then bring it out when you need it again. You can build these scenes, pack them away, put them in a bag, and basically access them at any time, and the terrain pops up again. Now, it's one thing to tell you all this. This is just a preamble. I'm actually going to show you exactly how it's done. Seeing it visually, you guys will understand how awesome this is. But before we go there, I do also want to mention that because we've been playing this way, and it feels like we're at a virtual tabletop and we're playing with miniatures on a virtual board, we are rolling dice at home as well. But basically, we just tell each other what our results are, and we roll real dice at our houses while we do a voice chat. That's something I was missing out on too, that I loved doing in person. Okay, so here we are. This is the table. I will show you guys on screen exactly what this table is called. I found it online. It's basically a Cyberpunk Red OneWorld table. The one that I'm using here is actually one that I found in a link. If you're watching on screen, you'll see exactly where I found it. And apparently in the comments, it said that this link fixed the OneWorld problem. So I just assumed that they figured it out. I used that link, and this is what this game is. Now, when I first started looking at it, I didn't realize, like, what am I even looking at? There's this really cool map. It's blank. And then there's this map of Night City. And you can cycle through these different maps, which is really cool. That's awesome. But then I don't know what I'm really looking at. I see miniatures, I see bags everywhere, I see character sheets. So it was a lot to take in. So what I did is I went online and I looked up some OneWorld tutorials for D&D, which basically works the same way. And that's when I realized what I had my hands on right here. So right now, all you're seeing is the player perspective when the player comes in, but let's go to the game master perspective by changing our color here. And the game master has a whole new smorgasbord of stuff over here to look at. It has dice, it has the stats for booster gangers, road gangers. I mean, you mention it. It's got everything that you need to be able to play your game. Eurobucks, gear tokens, percentile dice, and you can even project stuff on here for your players. See that? And all kinds of really cool things. Here's a combat tracker that you can do. So because me and my players are using real dice and I have my own techniques, I don't use a lot of this stuff, but if you're into using all this stuff, there's even net running here. You can do so many things with this. And also, I was really flattered to see that people are using my 3 goon method, and that my 3 goon method is literally here. It's here. I can use it if I want to. And I really appreciated that because they did the work for me. How cool is that? So the 3 goon method is in this table as well. All right. So yeah, I just showed you some of the tools. All right. So this isn't the main dish. All right. These are all the side dishes. Okay. The main dish is this thing right here. This is the OneWorld table. This little table is a representation of everything that you see in this yellow part right here, the part of the big table. As the game master, I'm the only one that can see this. And what you do is you basically fire it up by hitting this button. Okay, it's initiating. It's initiated. You click on the menu here, see all, and that's when you can start cycling through the different worlds. But we're playing the jacket, and there's no real spoilers in anything that you see here. I'm not going to be giving anything away. So because I was using the jacket, I actually had real battle maps to use and to be based off of. And as you can see, this is one of those maps. It's in the Edge Runner's mission kit. And you might think to yourself, okay, there you go. That's pretty cool. I have the map here. We can put some miniatures on here and we can play. You know, there's line of sight and everything that you need. We got it. We're good to go. But you can take it one step further. And you're about to see how I take it one step further. A button has appeared here called Build. All right. I'll show you how I brought this map in later. But when I click this Build button, look what happens. Recalling zone objects is what you saw on your screen. And here you go. These are all various assets that are either in here, as you can see. I have sci-fi vehicles. I have cover. Those look like tires. There's aircraft. I mean, all kinds of stuff are in here. As you can see, this stuff wasn't here before. I put all that stuff with preparation over time, and it's fun. You know, it's like a fun little activity putting terrain down. And then all I had to do after that was pack it. Right here, you see there's a button called pack. You press that, it packs everything together, and you're good to go. And then when you're done, you hit clear, and boom, we're back to square one. So basically what I did is I imported the map into here, and using the 2D version of this map, I use that as inspiration to be able to build. Now, what I haven't showed you guys is how I got all that terrain, and I'll show you that right now. Now, because I play Warhammer, I used to play Warhammer on Tabletop Simulator when I was just getting into the hobby, and I wanted to learn about armies before I made any purchases. And before I did that, I joined this Tabletop Simulator group that had all these assets ready to go. You just download them from a big file. And one of them is this thing called the Ultimate Terrain Collection. I'm sure you could find it on the workshop just by itself anyway. But because I have this, I have all kinds of terrain at my disposal, and it's all modern terrain. It's perfect. It goes exactly with Cyberpunk. The good news is a lot of those assets are actually also in these bags here where it says vehicles and cover. So one by one, I would put down the various pieces of terrain until I got what I wanted to make the map that I wanted. And then it would look like this, little by little. I got little crates. I have big shipping containers. I have these barrels, and I made a battlefield basically for our story. Now, this is all cool, but I also wanted to make custom maps of places that are not in the Edge Runner mission kit, because as awesome as it is that the Edge Runner mission kit has those battle maps for you to use, there's going to be scenarios where it doesn't have the battle map that you're going to use. But I didn't let that limit me. So let me show you how I made a different kind of battle map. So in one of the scenarios, you're outside of Tom's Diner. You end up there and you actually have to go into Tom's Diner. It's the same Tom's Diner that's in Cyberpunk 2077. But I didn't have a battle map for something, you know, if something went down outside of Tom's. It was supposed to be, you know, Theater of the Mind, and so is inside of Tom's Diner. So I decided, you know what if I make some battle maps for the two scenes that we're going to be in? one scene for being outside of Tom's Diner and another scene for being inside of Tom's Diner. So that's exactly what I did. I knew if I'm going to be outside of Tom's Diner that I need some kind of parking lot scene. So I went and I looked for parking lots. I looked all around. I looked up parking lot battle maps. And while there were really cool ones, they didn't really have the flavor that I was looking for. So I thought to myself, you know what? What if I use the real actual parking lots in the Cyberpunk 2077 video game? They'll be really thematic and they'll work out just as well as any other battle map, probably better. So I remembered that there was a really cool user on our Discord and I asked him if I could shout him out. Infernox went and did all the work. All right, I think it might be pinned in one of our channels. If it's not, I'll make sure that it is. But basically Infernox supplied us with screenshots of overhead views of different places in Night City. I mean, all kinds of places: desert, parking lots, major cities, uptown, downtown, you name it. This is a screenshot from Cyberpunk 2077. It's a parking lot. I don't think this is Tom's Diner here, but I told my players that the entrance to Tom's Diner is right here in this southern area. And so this is what I had to work with. This just by itself is awesome. It's thematic. It's from the game. This is it. You know what I mean? This is going to be what it looks like to park outside of a building. So I use that as inspiration and I just started getting to work. And here we go. Now it's come to life. There's a wall here. This is a great view here, this little angle. There's a wall here. There's vehicles, there's barrels, and as they come in, they see these scavengers around a damaged Apollo. And that's all part of our story as well. And as you can see, I put these walls here. It gives a little bit more of a real closed off, legit vibe. I mean, this feels awesome and it looks awesome. If you were to do this in person, you would literally have to buy all of this terrain, put it all together, take it out, load it on the table. I mean, like, go take 2 cigarette breaks and a lunch and then come back and I'll have everything ready. That's how long it'll take you to do all this. But in OneWorld, I press a button and everything appears right here in front of me. So not only did I put some terrain down, I also have these little white dots that I put around as points of interest. You mouse over it, the players will see it says Tom's Diner, parking lot exit, or, you know, parking lot entrance from Tom's Diner. Over here, you see exit to street. So it kind of gives you an idea of, oh, okay, this street kind of curves this way. This is like a retaining wall, and this is how we come in. The players drive this van, so this is their vehicle, and they would start basically where their vehicle is, and they can immerse themselves into this world, immerse their character into where they are, and see vertically and horizontally exactly how it looks for their character in this way. And it's always really fun to work with line of sight with stuff like this, because I mean, you just literally do this. If you're behind the truck, the van here, they can't see you and you can't see them. So this is outside of Tom's Diner. Let's go take a peek inside of Tom's Diner. So once again, Tom's Diner is a real place in Cyberpunk 2077, so I could go to the video game or go to screenshots of the video game and pop it up. And this is basically what I did. This is inside of Tom's Diner. I took this screenshot of Tom's Diner, which is a real screenshot from the video game, and I threw it in some kind of design program, wrote Tom's Diner on the top, Chinatown. It's immersive, right? My players can understand, like, hey, you're sitting at this table right here, or you just walk through that door. I wanted to immerse them even further. So the same idea that I used for making terrain, I used this photo as inspiration to fill it up. Now, you can't put miniatures on this. It would look weird, right? A miniature sitting on Tom's Diner here. The aspect is weird. The size is weird. So I don't think using miniatures would work. But you can use tokens. So let me show you how that looks. So as you can see, here are the various tokens. Once again, we have these NPCs hanging out here, and if you mouse over them, it tells you who they are and what they're doing. Sergio, cleaning glasses; man in suit eating a double XL burrito; a hooded man drinking coffee; and a fashionable man eating alone. And you know, as a player, you're sitting there, you have time, you can mouse over these things and see what they are. Oh, Tom's Diner, a glowing neon sign flickers. TV with bullet holes, it's off. The employees only NC, it's an employees only area. NC54 News is playing in the background there. So you can immerse yourself even more. You have people to interact with. And that's basically how we operated in our campaign. And it really felt like an interactive video game coming to life. Just like all those interactive video games, they have a set rail that you're on, and that's just how it's designed. But this is different, you know. I can on the fly in between our sessions completely change the vibe, get inspiration from my players, get inspiration from screenshots from Cyberpunk 2077, and make a whole new immersive environment for them. So I'm sure you guys all think this is awesome, and a lot of you are already on Steam downloading whatever you need to download to get this thing going. I wish you the best of luck. I'm still learning new things about this. It's pretty new to me, but let me show you guys how I make a custom map. So once you've cleared the board, we were hitting this see all button here, but now there's another button that says new. When you click on this new button, it gives you this weird little text box. All right. Now, if you look at this text box, it says here, change the custom art file on this token and then drop it onto the OneWorld hub while the hub is clear, which it is. Leave the SBX prefix in the name below, but change the rest. So I already know how to do all this. So let's go find a map and we're just going to add it in. So we're going to go to right click it, custom, where it says image. We're going to browse local files. I'm going to find something and I'll show you guys. Okay, so I found a file. It's one of Infernox's screenshots from Cyberpunk 2077. It looked like a desert environment. It was a little bit light on terrain, and I think it's perfect for what we're going to be doing. So you want to make sure you click on cloud, and you'll just upload it wherever it goes and hit import. Now here it is. This is it. This is a screenshot right here. You got to drop it. Oh, sorry. Wait, we got to rename it. We got to rename it. We're going to need rename it to example zone. All right. And then we're just going to drop it in here. Okay. It's there. There it is. All right. This is the scenario. Looks like we got a broken down vehicle, a bunch of trash bags, and it's pretty wide open. It's like trash and broken down vehicles. So let's get started in adding the terrain that we need. All right, so now that we have some inspiration, we know exactly how we're going to do it. Let's check out some of our miniatures we have available. I built this little bag itself to Cyberpunk minis and cars. This is just like my own idea of stuff that I think I'll be using. And lo and behold, I have broken down vehicles right here. So there's one, there's two. That one's kind of discolored. We'll get a discolored one. And oh, this one's nice too. All right, so there we go. We have enough vehicles there. Let's mess around with it. So we start spinning them around, trying to match the terrain. You can make them bigger, which is exactly what I'll do. And boom, it just looks like it's part of the terrain. Same thing right here. It doesn't matter if it's a different color. And it's not always going to match up, but that's why you can make it a little bit bigger. And there you go. There's another junker. This one looks like it's less junky. So we'll put it here. And then, you know, this is not on the map, but why not? I'll just use it as well. And just add some stuff right here. All right, there you go. We're already halfway there. Now we just need to find some trash bags, which you can find here in this bag. This is called the covers, the cover area. And these are infinite bags. You know, you can pull out as many as you'd like. And once it's loaded, now I have an idea of what I need. So I can just kind of go through it. And here we go. Here's a trash pile. Perfect. We're going to take that trash pile, and just for some variety, we'll take another one. And it doesn't matter that this is small. We can make it bigger. Here's another kind of trash pile. And we'll take this with us too, just so we can have some variety. So this trash pile, I can almost exactly just put it in here. And I can even just copy, Control C, Control V, and put it somewhere else. Put these boxes here. I can make this bigger. All right, that's nice. I kind of like the little angle on it. And here we have some verticality. I can play with miniatures. There's big wide open spaces. My players know what's going on. Let's put some discard bins. I mean, look, there's trash here. There's got to be bins, right? 2 different bins. You can never go wrong with containers. This container can go here. Looks like there's a ladder on this one, so we can give it verticality. And voila, we have a scene. We have something. All we have to do now is we go to our OneWorld right here. And it's called Example Zone. We hit this pack button and it puts everything away for us. And there it is. It's all put away. Let's go to it. Let's find it. Pack zone or example zone. All right, there it is. Example zone. Here it is. We use the same process as before, clicking on it. This is it with all the without all the terrain, exactly the way it was before. And we hit build. Everything's back. Everything is back. All that work that we did, we just put it away and we saved it. And that's it. And that's how you use OneWorld. Amazing, isn't it? Amazing. So I hope you chooms really enjoyed that video and you found a new way to play. And please support the people that made these OneWorld tables. I really appreciate it. Personally, thank you for making such a thing. And thank you to the whole community for your support. I hope you guys all enjoy this, and let me know in the comments how it goes for you. Let me know on social media at JonJonTheWise. Take screenshots. I love to see your battle maps with all the terrain, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks.